And when people asked his son Andrew what he thought of his dad and the actions that he took, his direct quote was, "It's no surprise to me. My dad was a fucking asshole." Well, here, no surprise to me, man. The guy was a fucking asshole. Yeah, he was a piece of
Mate,
shit, and he fucking
mate,
hit me all the time,
mate.
mate.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Bullseye with BJ podcast.
Guess what, motherfucker?
Some of the information you are about to hear, some may find disturbing.
I don't know who gave them this or who gave them the clearance. On the crotch.
Oh my
Right
lord.
there.
Can we Google that?
Yeah, that's what I thought. And then I fucking stumbled down a dark hole and I love it.
Great cake parties.
If I'm gonna believe anybody's bullshit, I'm gonna believe mine.
It sounds not politically correct, but
You two motherfuckers need Jesus.
What is up, boners? We are back. Yes, we took a break from telling y'all some crazy ass stories, and
Just from y'all in general.
yeah, pretty much. But actually, we have gotten a lot done since then. Working on the room in the back, was able to tear out some of the walls and the old shelving that was in there. Painted some of the walls, as some of you may have seen on Instagram. And you, sir, congratulations! You even got a new fridge.
Oh, yeah, I had to get rid of that dinosaur. I was wondering why the hell my electricity bill is so high, but I don't know if that's the case. But yeah, I got rid of it, bought a new one, and I went and stuffed it today. Spent a shitload of money on meat
Well,
that
you
I
need
can't eat. It's mom and your brothers.
but yeah, no, we took a break, and I mean, it was actually pretty good. Kind of not just kind of clearing our minds of everything else, and rushing, not really rushing, but just trying to get a product put out there for you guys. So we hope you enjoyed this episode. It was a pretty interesting episode. Have you ever heard of this guy before?
Oh, no. That's what I was saying. I thought it was something totally different, but no. It was
you
interesting.
thought you thought it was Bullseye from the
Colin
was
Farrell,
it
yeah.
2004 Daredevil movie?
Oh, yeah. Is that Daredevil with
Yeah, Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck?
Yeah.
He was with Jennifer then?
Yeah, I think this was right after that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. They were together. I
Haven't you seen the
forgot
meme? She's got more rings than Tom Brady.
No, that's J-Lo.
Ben Affleck. Who am I talking? That's what I'm talking about. Jennifer Lopez. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez.
I thought you were talking about Jennifer Garner.
No, that's the one who has children. That was his wife, and children.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. J-Lo. Yeah.
They made Jersey Girl.
She had like all the rings on her hand and doing like this or something.
Yeah.
More rings than Jordan and Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny. I saw that. But yeah, this is another true crime story. This time it's not anywhere located in the U.S. or even in our backyard, Bay Area, whatever. This is across the pond, ladies and gentlemen, in bloody UK. They go over there and they fuck shit up over there. The little hooligans over there playing football and everything. You know what I mean, mate?
That's about right.
So I hope everybody enjoys the episode. Before you watch it, please don't forget, head over to Apple Podcasts. Actually, go over to our Instagram. That's BoTalks_with BigJim_podcast. There you can hit our flow page. That's flow.page/BTWBJ. Like this right here, BTWBJ. Thank you, Joel, for this. But if you go click on our flow page link, you can have access to all of our links to buying us a beer, our YouTube, our Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, the whole nine. Everything's there. Also, speaking of buying us a beer, your sister, my auntie, Serena, thank you so much for purchasing some beer for us. We love you.
Yeah.
We love you very much. She's actually one of our bigger supporters also. She's one of the people who came on the earlier episodes We spoke about the Gypsy Hill murders, and there was another one that we talked about with her.
Probably, yeah.
It was I know
Yeah,
for a
she
fact
was
it
on a
was
couple times.
yeah.
She was on a couple
So
times.
if you check out our earlier episodes, which I kind of don't recommend because right now we're a lot better at talking.
Dude, everybody starts in a shithole. Doesn't matter.
We were in a shithole, man. We were in the fucking the septic tank. That's pretty much it. I just wanted to let everybody everybody know where they could find us, where they can go and help us out, support us. Things will be coming out soon. By the way, speaking of support, we got a huge feedback from this logo behind me. For everyone who's just listening, it's the brand new logo that I put on Instagram. It's the Botox with Big Jim logo, created, edited, colorized, everything done by Munoz Teseños, aka Joel Munoz. Give him a huge follow. Please go check his page out. He has wonderful stuff on his page. Hella cool, and he made this. Like I'm still in awe with this creation.
And here's the thing, if you can get him to agree on helping you out, you're very lucky. So take advantage of his talent.
Yes. But go ahead and you had something to say?
Okay. So as of last week, we had an episode which had, in regards to a local case, which is in San Leandro, and we got some feedback from a few people. A few people who knew of the person in general, a few people who knew of what this family did, and some people we just realized of that knew of the people who were unfortunately killed in this episode. But my question to you guys, now I've always thought and I've always talked to Jim about focusing on the Bay Area because the Bay Area has a lot of supernatural, paranormal, interesting stories. So the
A
people who
lot of
reached
interesting
out,
stories.
people who reached out and interacted with us, we're not asking you to come on the show, but you know, elaborate, give us some information. We'll be real careful how we put it through if it even comes about that. But the Bay Area, I'm going to challenge some people that listen to our story, and I'm going to stick with Alameda and Oakland. Now, here's the one thing I would really like for people to focus on the stories that involve the USS Hornet,
That's a good one.
the Mountain View Cemetery in Oakland. Now, that has a special, just so you know, that place right there is where your grandmother is buried. But there's also some very interesting and famous people that are there.
Oh, I think I
The
know who one of them that you're talking about that we talked about
robbery,
before. Future episode. That's probably going to be a two-parter with that one.
Alameda High School. We know a lot of people who went to Alameda High School, and apparently the auditorium, which is a very rustic and old building, there's a lot of paranormal sites, paranormal. Geez, I'm stuttering. I'm trying to think what I was
Oh,
saying. Interaction. A lot of paranormal sightings and stuff like that. The Naval Air Base, the Alameda Insane Asylum, which is no longer there. The O Club, which is on the Naval Air Base, which was
wait a minute. There was an
also
insane
where.
asylum in Alameda.
Oh yeah, a mental hospital in Oakland. Exactly. That's exact. And it's located across from the U.S. at the It's over the Posy Tube in Alameda, the backside of Oakland, where the Luckies and all that is back there.
Yep.
Alameda. The building is gone. It burnt down. But there are a lot of people obviously hear bumps in the night, see things, and do. I mean, who knows? They might have been drunk or whatever, but the facility was just spooky and haunting in its appearance alone, and then people going through the building. But here's a fact. I just found out that there's a very famous eatery that a lot of us have gone or continue to go to. It used to be called La Piñata in Alameda, which is now currently named La Pinca or El Pinca or whatever. That right there used to be in that corner, not necessarily the building. I haven't verified the building, but that used to be a mental ward
Shut
facility.
up.
Yeah, homeboy, I'm telling you. So, my question challenges to you is if you guys have stories that you may have personally been involved or seen or heard, or maybe even heard stories from other people. Let us know about them. We're not asking you to be on the show if you don't want to. We would love for you to be on the show because it's fun. It really is fun. But shoot us an email, shoot us a text, give us your phone. We probably know most of you guys anyway,
Yeah.
but let's interact.
Hit us up on
Again,
Instagram. Shoot us a DM. He holds the reins for the Twitter account. I hold the reins for the
Yeah.
Instagram account.
Yeah.
DM
No.
him, DM me.
Yeah.
It's we're there. Just hit us up.
Boom.
Well, listen, I hope everybody enjoys the show. Again, please don't forget to leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. I know it sounds absurd, but it does help us out. Enjoy the episode. This is the Game Show Killer, aka the Bullseye Killer. Enjoy.
Shit, I'm empty. Enjoy.
So today, sir, we are going to talk about a gentleman. No, and this is actually one that we were supposed to get done like a while ago. People voted on it. And just never got
People
around to
voted
it.
on it.
Yeah, people voted on it. We just unfortunately never got to it because we had some other stuff to do, and then other people wanted to come on, and then we started doing ghost stories. So this is one that everyone chose a while ago. This is going to be about, well, he has two names really. He's either the Bullseye Killer or the Game Show Killer.
Oh, yeah. You told me, and I thought it was Bullseye from
Daredevil. He thought
yeah,
it was Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell.
But before we get started on this story, I would like to know what are you currently drinking, sir?
I am drinking what is called, and is a amber ale,
Ooh.
Arrogant Bastard. Now this stuff's been around for a while. It is actually commercial grade, commercially produced. They're out of Escondido, California, which is down south towards San Diego. But it's really good. It's a dark beer ale. I don't know if you can see it. Tastes like maple syrup and a little bit of caramel. It's sweet. The aftertaste is sweet. Obviously, any beer like this you drink, it's kind of bitter and strong. It's not like a stout, but you can smell maple syrup or caramel, or it's just luscious is what it is.
It's luscious, you said?
Luscious. It's great beer, yeah. Especially when it's on sale. I went to the store. Obviously, I showed you I bought a new fridge. So I took advantage of the fact that
congratulations.
St. Patty's Day is tomorrow, or St. Patty's Day is Wednesday, and beer specials are off the hook right now. So I bought 2 of these pint-sized cans for $3.75. $3.75. This is good beer for $3.75. It's great beer. But earlier today, I had 2 24 ounces of PBR, and then I had a couple of hazy IPA from Lagunitas, and now this is this. So I got a pretty good buzz.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I went to the store. Me and Mom went shopping, and I just was like, you know what? We bought a fridge. We could fill it up, so let's just fill it. I overfilled it. There's stuff that I can't even put in the fridge.
Damn.
And I'm afraid to put it on the glass shelves so they don't break. But at this point, our refrigerator was always full.
Yeah.
We had a highly functionable, normal refrigerator. We moved in here, and this thing was a dinosaur. Fell apart. You opened the door, and something fell out or something. And it wasn't even food. It was a part of the refrigerator. So I decided earlier this month, after I was cleaning up.
Yeah.
And when me and Mom went to your house, and she liked your refrigerator, and she'd been bugging me for one, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to bite the bullet. Just do it. And I bought this online, and it's big enough. I actually thought it was going to be too big. It's not big enough.
Really?
No, it's not big enough.
It looks hella big.
No, it is. Don't get me wrong. I probably put in just in the freezer alone, I don't know, maybe, now this is all store bought. It's not like I went out and hunted the shit, but I don't know, see, 40 pounds of chicken, beef, and pork.
Jesus.
Yeah, I bought all kinds of meat, dude. It just, we went to Costco and it was one of those, is that what we want? No, but I'll get it. Is that what we want? No, but I'll get it. And I just was like, and I broke it all down and, but no, it's, I still haven't even completed my shopping list. That was just, and I don't have any room.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that's what you're drinking is a plethora of different things.
I've been drinking since about 4 o'clock, putting shit away, and yeah. So I'm not. I feel a little pain in my right side, but other than that, I don't feel too much pain.
I was doing some yard work earlier. I'm about ready to fucking knock out.
I
But
know
got
you are,
this
dude.
right here.
I see. I haven't made it out there.
I got
And
that, baby.
Yeah, right
From
now I'm
Epidemic
hoping Epidemic L's every now and then they go to farmers
that.
market and they carry their brew with them. And I'm
Yeah.
hoping that the farmers market out here in Hayward this weekend has it because I'm not gonna lie, I've been drinking
A lot.
well, besides that, Ale Industries, which is out of Oakland, just close to Jingletown, which is obviously
Oh, that's the one
my
that did
stomping ground.
the town, right?
The town. They have one that I'm going to get. It's on order right now. It's in the queue. It's called Suscubus, and it's a dark stout.
Oh, I saw that one.
Woman. Yeah, I
I
don't
wanna
care
try
about
that.
the beer. I just like the can.
So yeah,
Um,
for those wondering, I'm drinking the Abomination double hazy double IPA from Epidemic Ales, which in our background here, I am holding one of their beers. And again, big shout out to Joel who was on one of our last episodes. Thank you, buddy, for doing this. This little logo behind us will be seeing a lot more. Trust me. So
I can't say enough about the logo. Every time I look at it, and like I said, it's a lot of it is sentimental, but
all of it is, yeah.
just looking at it and then it just takes me back to stories that represent what I'm thinking. And yeah, it's spot on. And he probably doesn't really realize how great it is to us.
I don't think
again,
so. But
you, Joel.
yeah, we definitely told him and it's awesome. And we got nothing but love from people online who saw it and they're like, holy shit, this is dope, this is dope, this is badass. Like everyone was so huge thank you, Joel. Huge thank you.
Yeah, and I hope you fuckers who like it will buy a t-shirt when we print them.
Yeah, because those are coming soon. We'll be printing. We have stuff coming.
Yeah, we have a lot of merch coming.
Know that.
We were really waiting on this design to really, pull the trigger on a lot of stuff. And it wasn't so much just, there's a lot of opportunities out there for a lot of people to make stuff for us. And we give them the ideas and they scramble to make it. And then this is one we took the time to just let the guy do his magic. And he did his research.
We didn't rush him at all.
No.
At all.
I'm to the point where I actually want him to produce some of those hats.
Oh, these? Yes. Motherfuckers need Jesus? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Even grandma, my mom, your grandma Mary, who's 69 years old, she said her favorite part of the podcast is you motherfuckers need Jesus.
I honestly I forgot about that and if you know the movie then you know where it's from, but I'm not gonna say where I ripped it from. But there's a particular scene in a movie that features Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. Let me just say that it's the second one of that movie. And I remember hearing this woman say that, and I was like, dude, I have to use that for something. And then obviously we started this podcast, and then this came about, and I was like, found it.
Yeah, that's it. That's the key to basically everything. Saying, and it actually reflects us because we would be drinking and say something stupid just like that
all the time.
Yeah,
not even drinking. We say it's sober.
I know, but we can't say that sober unless we're behind locked doors.
That's true. So with that being said,
let's many sensitive people nowadays.
Let's get into don't even get me started with that. This story is not local. This story is not in California. It is not within the continental United States. In fact, This story takes us over the pond, or across the pond, as some people may call it, to the UK. So from 1985 to 1989, there was one unknown man who was responsible for robberies, assault, rape, and 4 murders. And this whole story will tell you how a composite sketch of the unknown man's profile, the side of his face, it was really the back side of his face, and a single frame from a television show caught him. So get your Lysol ready, put on your face masks, and take a sip of that sweet, sweet beer. And let's enjoy this podcast of Botox with Big Jim about the game show killer.
Dun, dun, dun.
The gist of it is that it took place in Wales, the United Kingdom, from 1985 to 1989. This was an unknown man, like I just mentioned, who was responsible for 1 attempted robbery, 30 burglaries, 1 sexual assault, 1 rape, and 4 murders, which then actually technically labels him as a serial killer
By definition.
by definition, because more than 3 people, anything over 3 people who are killed by the same person labels them as
In
a
the same
serial,
matter.
which is weird. Don't you think that's weird?
Not necessarily. Well, okay, don't get me started on that, because I'll get in the whole military aspect and following orders and what people do when they're in the military to follow and hide their own true identity and everything. Anyway, yes, by definition, he's a serial killer.
And his terror went over for multiple years until he was convicted in 2009. So he was caught. He was eventually caught. And then he was convicted in 2009. So everything started on December 22nd, 1985. I apologize for the names. In Pembrokeshire.
Maybe you should just shouldn't say the names. Just say
I have to say
killer. Oh,
because it tells where everything was at, where everything took place.
you mean the name of the town or the name of the person who he slaughtered?
Both.
Just say the name of the town. Don't worry about the name. Oh, I don't know. Fuck yeah, they're hard anyway. Go ahead. Don't mind me.
2 siblings were killed. Richard and Helen Thomas. Richard was 58. Helen Thomas was 54. Of Scoviston Park. Their badly charred bodies were discovered after their farmhouse that they were living in was burned to the ground. Richard was found with bullet wounds to his head and stomach. Helen was found with a gunshot wound to the head and was bound with her hands behind her back. Now, the investigators did say that this was a possible robbery gone bad, but they didn't expect. Hold on. Investigators thought that this was a robbery gone bad because whoever did this didn't expect Richard or Dick to show up. The killer was then at large. So he killed 2 people, 2 siblings, and then just left.
Okay, did
Now-
he kill him like shoot him, stab him?
He shot him. He shot them both.
So it was just a quick in and out. He probably didn't have any reason
Well,
to do so, right?
That's why they think that this was a robbery gone wrong, because Richard had multiple gunshot wounds to the head and the stomach. So it's like someone just turned and like rapid fired. Whereas Helen had 1 gunshot wound to the head and her hands were bound behind her. So it's almost as if someone walked in the middle of him doing something, or Richard walked in the middle of whoever this person was and then saw them, and then he shot and killed them.
So he was interrupted.
He was interrupted of whatever it is that he was doing.
He probably had some more severe, sickening thoughts of what to do to these people.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
And once I tell you a little more, it is pretty sick. The killer was at large, and on June 29th, 1989, A married couple was on their last day of their holiday vacation in Little Haven. It's a little village of about 1,300 people just outside of Brookshire. This couple was Peter and Gwenda Dixon. The two were confronted by a masked man armed with a sawed-off shotgun. Now, this also brings me to a question, and I've always wanted to know this. What is the difference between a regular 2-barrel shotgun and the one that's sawed off? I never understood that.
No. A sawed off means that it's okay. A 2-barrel is a side-by-side barrel or over and under,
Right.
meaning that the barrel is vertical over and
Right.
under. It can even be different calibers, but it's usually a 20 or 20 gauge or a 12 gauge. A sawed off means by legal, a barrel in California should be of 18.5 inches. So technically anything below that, you can get in trouble. But you can actually saw off a barrel of any type of a firearm up to 18 inches. Overall length has to be 18 plus the stock. And if you put a choke tube, not to get technical,
So,
but a
so
sawed
basically,
off is anything illegal that's concealable. So you can cut, I can't
okay.
remember what movie it was, but there's a movie out to where the guy got a double barrel shotgun to where all it is a trigger, the actual handle, and the shells stick through the barrel. It's kind of a gimmick, but it's something that they made for this movie, but it's like almost super dangerous to shoot because there's no, it's all, you feel all that in your bones.
Yeah.
I'll try to find the movie, not to get off track, but a
Is that like
sawed off is
that's
something.
like that's like what's it called? I call it my boomstick. Uh Army of the Dead.
Yeah, that's a sawed off, but I've seen sawed off 2 slug type shotgun shells that are no more than 6 inches long, the entire firearm.
Why?
But if you,
That's
I don't know why,
that's
but if you
ridiculous.
look at, say, the end of Scarface, the guy who comes to shoots Tony Montana, who creeps up behind him and he has a sawed off double barrel shotgun.
Oh yeah,
That's a
yeah.
sawed off double barrel side by side shotgun, and that
But
is for up
but
close
does
and
it do
personal.
anything for like the spread or anything, or it's just more of a concealment thing?
It's a concealment. If you have something like that, God, you're making me sound like I'm a fucking serial killer. But if you have something like that, you're up close and personal. You're getting within 5 yards, within 15 feet. And that's probably too much. But if you have something like that, you're getting right up to them. And it depends on the type of spread you want. I mean, I've never heard of anybody putting a choke. A choke is a type of a filter or a tube at the end of a barrel that controls the spread. It's a narrow or a wide or nothing. So depending on the shot, you got bird, you got buck, you got slug. Those are the most common. Then you got pepper spray ball, then you got beanbag, but a professional hitman with a concealable weapon is not going to, he's
A
going to have,
serial killer would actually have this.
yeah, a professional hitman would have something that's concealable and that it's just going to do the job one time. That's all you needed to do.
So the real question is
It,
how many hitmen do you know? Actually, this is a different kind of world, sir. This is a hitmen or women.
okay, a hit person.
There you go.
You're asking me like legitimately, do I know of anybody?
Oh no, no, you don't have to. No,
Okay.
no,
Yeah.
no.
No, don't do that because I unfortunately do know of some. But if I had career day at high school, I probably would have put hitman as a career. Hitman and fireman were probably my 2 top choices of growing up to becoming something.
Okay, that's
But
terrifying.
no, I
No,
mean,
but
and
okay.
I know it's terrible, but it's just like it's no
You're like
different
the
to me. It's
Iceman,
no
the dude that
exactly. He has no empathy. He's about as cold as ice, and he's not going to get a reaction. He knows what he has to do,
but he
and
had
he did
morals.
it.
He didn't kill women and he
Of
didn't
course, he
kill
had
kids.
morals. Of course, he had morals. He wasn't a fucking animal. He had a job.
God, that you know what? That's who we should talk about next too.
He had a
Is
job,
that
and
guy, the Iceman?
he fulfilled his responsibilities. And I tell you what, That is the most. God, this is gonna sound so terrible. Why'd you have to ask me this question on the podcast? That has got to be the most disciplined type of responsibility to do. I'm gonna try to word it correctly, or somewhat not so much of a ignorant response. But if you're in that type of a lifestyle where somebody is legitimately telling you, okay, this is what we're going to do, this is what I want you to do, and this is how I want you to handle it. Now, your job is to handle that. Now, if that means I have to sneak in your house, or if I sneak behind you, or if I end up in the back of your vehicle and I have to take you out, you're right. There's nothing that's going to stop his responsibility at all. And he goes on with his day, like you said, and he had a family. He had a
did.
daughter.
He had, I think,
Yeah.
3 daughters.
He was a dad, but he had a responsibility. And I'm not going to sit here and say that he was fucking, an honorable man, but guess what? He took care of what he had to do, and he was cold. He was cold.
He's as cold as ice.
He
So I
was
call him the
cold.
Ice Man.
He was cold.
So going back to the story of
Yes.
not knowing fucking professional killers,
Sorry.
news to me.
Sorry.
The two were confronted by a masked man armed with a sawed-off shotgun, like I had mentioned.
Mhm.
4 days later, Tim Dixon, their son, reported the couple missing. 6 days after that, the bodies were discovered by a search party. Peter was tied up, similar to the previous murders, and was shot at point blank range in the face with a sawed-off shotgun. Gwenda was tied up and shot at point blank range in the back of the head. Now, I'm not going to mention which websites that I've looked at, but I have seen a multiple of people being shot in the face with any kind of gun,
Mhm.
and a shotgun is not the prettiest.
No, but again, it all has to do with the load of the type of uh, shell it is. Slug, bigger ball bearing, which is a double aught, or aught meaning 0, or birdshot. Birdshot just has pellets, but that's just what the projectile that comes out of it. That's not necessarily telling what the explosion of the cap is, the grain. So it could be a bigger grain, it could be a low grain. Low grain has to be for birds because you don't
It's
want to
still,
go duck hunting and
yeah, just fucking blow up a
fucking.
bird.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's still, it's honestly, it's really not, and all joking aside, it's really fucking insane to just picture someone pulling up with like you said, 6 inches. And I can't think, a can this big and just firing a full fucking thing in the back of someone's head.
Well, I mean that's kind of Hollywoodish, but if you think about it, just think about holding. I'm trying to think. Just think about having something in your hand that overall is 18 inches long. And I would imagine that the movie, and I'm using this as an example at the end of Scarface, that dude had a double barrel shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
Double barrel meaning 2 triggers, 2 hammers, cocked back, both individually, and it's side by side. So depending on what it was, bottom what I'm getting at is you're only getting 2 projectiles. You're getting 1 opportunity to make a shot, or 2 opportunities if you don't pull both triggers. But imagine something that's no wider than your computer that you're looking at right now. Look at the screen of your computer. That's 15 inches. Imagine just 3 more inches of that and the recoil of a shotgun.
The inspectors found that Gwenda was actually raped prior to her death. Also, the two had their wallets stolen. After this attack, Peter's bank card was used to withdraw money. No one was able to identify the person using Peter's card, but did describe the clothing of the possible suspect. It was khaki shorts, hiking boots, and an olive green shirt. The suspect was also described to have very curly hair, much like your other child, by the way. He had very curly hair.
Still does.
Police were able to sketch an outfit from the back, which is from an eyewitness that was looking at the individual from behind. Now, like I said, if you're watching this, it's more of a look like this. So it's the back right side of my face that they were able to see. They couldn't get a full image of what the person looked like. They just saw that side of him. Then in March 1996, another violent attack occurred at Milford Haven. 5 teenagers, 3 boys, 2 girls, were attacked by a man with a torch, or what they call a flashlight over in the UK. And could you guess what kind of weapon he had?
Shotgun.
Sawed-off shotgun. All of the teens ranged from 15 to 18 years old. He told all of them to lay on the ground and to give them whatever money that they had. After taking the money, he fired 1 shot into the air and yelled, if any of you get up, I'll fucking kill you. The man then proceeded to sexually assault 2 of the girls that ages were 15 and 16 years old. After this incident, no suspect was caught and the case went cold. Now, with DNA evidence, because this is not very much, it's not so old that they couldn't get the DNA evidence. But again, this was in this particular time was in 1996. Then in 1998, after a failed robbery, after another failed robbery, this person had a target on its back because this time he didn't wear a mask, and someone was able to call out or describe what he looked like. The suspect identified, or the possible suspect identified, was John Cooper. After the failed robbery, the unknown suspect at the time fled and dumped all of his accessories into a bush. His mask, which he didn't wear, his mask, his gloves, rope, and again, a sawed-off shotgun. During the routine questioning in the nearby neighborhood, inspectors came across John's home. When John invited them in without any question, one inspector found an item from another robbery case while they were there. John's home was then inspected, and items from up to 30 different cases of robbery and burglary were found. John was sentenced to 14 years in prison. Prior to being sentenced, the police asked and suspected of John killing the 4 people, the one that everybody was shot, and the 2 siblings that were shot and burned, and then the couple that were shot over in Brookshire, somewhere Shire.
Brookshire.
Was it Brookshire?
Well, I know there's a Brookshire in England.
Let's just say
I've heard
Brookshire.
it before.
Or I can go back up and look. Anyways, they suspected him of doing all of this because the gun that was found was a sawed-off shotgun from the attempted robbery. Prior to being sentenced, the police asked and suspected of John of killing the 4 people previously mentioned. But they were unable to really confirm this, and John continued to tell people that he was not the murderer. He did not kill anybody for the longest time. He was, I think even to this day, because I don't think he's dead, he says that he's not the murderer. Prior to his release in 2006, police reopened the cold case. Using newer technology and forensic evidence, the police dug deeper into finding information. And what they found was forensics examiners went through each article of clothing found at each of the murder sites. And what they ended up searching was a pair of khaki shorts that John had worn that day. Having reopened the cold case, police had circumstantial evidence but needed and wanted for further forensic evidence. Blood was discovered on John's shorts. Police found a microscopic drop of blood from 20 years prior, and it belonged to Peter Dixon. Microscopic, and it's still blowing my mind how crazy forensic evidence is able to find stuff now. Like legitimate, like they had to put it under a microscope to see this blood and who it even belonged to.
Here's what you're not saying. It's still in its infancy.
Is it really?
I mean, it's maybe 10, may say 10 years old, maybe longer. But what I'm getting at is that they still extract stuff from stuff they couldn't possibly think of extracting. And they're finding different ways of identifying markers. And I guess that's the trick. Every time I read something or look at something, it's about identifying certain markers or characteristics. And then they put it together. That's unreal to me. That is unreal.
It's almost like putting together one of the biggest jigsaw puzzles back together.
It's the most complex jigsaw puzzle, but once it's all identified, it's the simplest thing. It's like maybe 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4 pieces. And it's just boom. Here's what we identify.
And it's fast.
It's getting faster. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's getting a lot faster.
And it's getting so fast. Even the person who found this, the examiner that found this, said this was a 1 in a billion find.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, they can look up your ancestry, not your Hispanic or Mexican but you're a part Irish, you're part Italian, and we obviously have genetics for all, not Italian so much, but Mexican descent and Irish descent, that they can identify exactly like I told you. And I know I make fun of it, but they being the TV world or reporters, they talk about how they traced Scottish immigrants through the Carolinas to become what they call hillbillies
or rednecks.
That's unreal. No, hillbillies. Rednecks are different. It's truly hillbillies. Rednecks are different. But
but no, they came from the same. They came from the same area though.
They did until the rednecks, which are not the red coats, but the red scarves during the Midwest.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, that's
You're right.
different. They could have been migrated from Scotland or Ireland or the Chinese or even the Hispanics or even the Native Americans. But the redneck is the identifying marker of the red thing
Scarves.
that they wore around their neck. Yeah.
Yeah. So with that 1 in a billion find, they also took evidence from the shotgun found in the bushes from the botched robbery. Forensic evidence was able to link the shotgun belonging to John. A single screw in that shotgun linked John to this shotgun because he was someone who always worked with his hands. And he had accessories in his shed to fix things such as nails, hammers, and screws.
Sure.
Thus making circumstantial and forensic evidence. Forensics
Makes
teams.
sense.
What was that?
Makes sense, especially back then where it was so the tradesmen were so far and in between. You probably had a local blacksmith, or you had a local furrier. Furrier is somebody who does shoe or horseshoes. The blacksmith provides blah blah blah. Silversmith, people who makes bullets. Just I get it.
Yeah. So so they use this both as circumstantial and forensic evidence to bring him back in. They also found that the shotgun had been painted black. So it was painted prior to it being found. Scraping away some of the paint, they found blood that was preserved like a fossil under the paint. And again, that blood belonged to Peter Dixon. This is now the murder weapon, thus labeling John as the killer. But they still needed hard evidence that was this really him? Did he take the money? Did he do anything like that? So what they ended up finding was in May of 1998, John Cooper was featured on a game show in Wales called Bullseye. While under investigation, police watched an episode for any clues that may have pinned or linked John to these murders. And sure enough, a side profile matched the sketch that was found by a witness. Now, another thing too that really caught John up was that he was a gambling man. He was a gambling man and he was a drunk. So when he went on to the show, he even said to the host, I like to gamble and I like to have a scotch now and then. And the reason why I bring this up is because anytime he was able to try and make money, he went for it, because life to him was a gamble, which is why he would rob so many people.
It's no different than today. People cash and carry. They don't believe in banking systems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4 months after being on the game show, Peter and his wife were then shot and killed. John William Cooper was then taken into custody in May of 2009. Actually, this is right before I graduated high school.
Yeah, it's pretty current.
Yeah.
Pretty current. So a lot of the stuff you're saying, it's like, wow, that's like in the beginning of all this forensic type shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like even earlier, but no, it's very immature as far as the process, the advancement of forensic science.
Now, he, like I had mentioned, he had previously gone to jail for robberies. They didn't get him on sexual assault until later with forensic evidence. So they mainly got him for stealing. And while he was out of prison for only 6 months, that's when he went back to prison in May of 2009. When he was arrested, police found gloves, rope, and a survey map of Pembrokeshire, Wales. And John wasn't smart. He ultimately ratted himself out. During one of the interrogations, police showed John a picture of his shorts with Peter's blood on it. And they also showed him the sketch that matched his description. John stated that the shorts in the sketch were too long and mine were short. They were above the knee. So they basically telling them, no, that's not that doesn't accurately depict me, that sketch, because mine were above the knees. So police took that into consideration and went back to the shorts. Again, in the forensic lab, they found that shorts were hemmed. They unhemmed the shorts and didn't think that you could do that before. I never knew you could hem shorts. I don't know why you would.
You know what a hem is, right?
Yeah, no, that's when you measure the length up and down, but I don't know why you would do it to shorts. They're already shorts. They're not pants. They're already cut off at the knees or below the knees.
They could be knickers also.
What is that?
Knickers are pants to their knees, and they have a cuff at the bottom of it. So a lot of those type of shorts, which would be made out of a cuffed khaki style or a chino style short, especially out there, they have a cuff, and the cuff is usually an inch above the knee with an inch fold, double fold, and stitched on both side seams.
They go an inch above the knee when it's hemmed.
Yeah, I'm not. From what I can, I'm being.
I'll tell you right now, those are some pasty ass people to be showing off their legs like that. I'm not even that white, and I don't even try and show off my legs like that.
Go back and watch. I almost said Harriet Tubman. Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. Yeah, what about it? They don't show.
They wear shorts.
Oh, you're right.
I've never seen a Harry Potter movie once. I've just seen commercials. But school kid Angus Young.
Yeah, some of them
from
do. Yeah.
AC/DC. What is his uniform? It's a school kid's uniform with shorts.
Yep, you're right.
Yes,
it's
got cuffs.
So they unhemmed his knickers or his shorts.
Short, not knickers. Knickers are longer, but shorts.
And what they found was, again, DNA evidence, this time from Julia. And
So he used the same clothes to do both whatever crime he had to do. Wore the same thing.
the crazy fuck stole his shorts and put them on.
Wow.
He was wearing the shorts after he killed them for 10 years.
Okay, serial killers collect trophies.
Yeah, they do.
Trophy.
But that's literally crazy. Like you're saving someone's shorts that you just killed.
If you find enjoyment on slaughtering somebody, whether it be to whatever extent it is, you're crazy in general. You
He
have
was
no
a
empathy.
crazy fuck.
You have probably no sympathy either. But the point is, that's his enjoy. He probably got sexually aroused, or even probably got off by wearing them shorts.
Well, he's also an asshole because he tried so many different things to get out of him not being caught, to the point where he even blamed his son.
Yeah, that's chicken shit. But
He said in one of the interviews, my son took my shorts all of the time. Whenever he wanted, he wore them. So now he's saying, yeah, my son was the one who killed these fucking people. It wasn't me. Guy was a dick.
shit. Chicken shit. That's just straight up chicken shit.
John was found guilty of all charges. He was charged with the double murder of Richard and Helen Thomas, the double murder of Peter and Gwenda Dixon, and the rape and sexual assault of two teenagers. And he is now serving 75 years to life in prison.
In England.
Overseas,
So
in England.
Yeah, I don't know how.
And much like every what do they call him, narcissist, he denies any action that was taken.
Of course, it's not his fault. It's everybody else's. What the fuck?
And when people asked his son Andrew what he thought of his dad and the actions that he took, his direct quote was, "It's no surprise to me. My dad was a fucking asshole." Here, no surprise to me, man. The guy was a fucking asshole. Yeah, he was a piece of shit, and he fucking hit me all the time, mate. But no, that's actually what he said. There was one particular time where they went fishing, and John was on one side of the boat, Andrew was on the other, and when he cast the line, it caught onto his shirt, caught onto John's shirt, and when he threw it or tried to cast it, it tugged on his shirt. John grabbed his son by his face, like I said, they're back to back, grabbed him by his face and shoved him down to the boat. Mind you, Andrew was 11 years old at this time.
Well, for what reason?
Because it caught onto his shirt. The hook almost
caught onto
his shirt.
So it was a mistake.
So total mistake. Put him down at the bottom of the boat, which was just, a regular little fishing boat for two people.
The belly.
And the belly of the boat. And he pulled out a gun. And he put it in his son's mouth. And Andrew's telling the story, and he's like, all I remember is just seeing darkness in his eyes. Mm-hmm. And the only thing that I heard and felt was a click and something rattle my teeth. He pulled the fucking trigger and there was nothing to fucking kill him. No. And there was nothing in there. And he's like,
can you imagine what that, and I'm not sticking up for him, but can you imagine what that dude went through to have such blackness in himself to realize that that's his, and not realize that that's his kid?
I have no idea. That's a fucked up. That's terrible. That's horrible.
Something bad happened to that dude.
Absolutely.
Something bad happened to that dude.
So John William Cooper, later identified as the Bullseye Killer, or like I said, the game show killer, was sentenced to 75 to life in prison on May 26th, 2011.
10 years ago.
10 years ago. So That was the Bullseye Killer, or the game show killer, as we have mentioned prior. Sorry it took so long. We just
What
had
took
a lot.
long? The story?
The story, no, not well. Getting to the
Just
story.
to get Dude, we've had so many things come our way, and it's to the point now where we've kind of identified where a lot of people's interests are, and
Yeah,
it
we've
took.
we've actually narrowed it down to two things, two big things: ghost
Yeah,
stories and this true crime.
yeah, yeah,
So and I'm not sure if you saw it, but I put a poll on Instagram and everybody voted, and it's literally split right down the middle,
yeah,
50-50.
yeah. And people, and another thing too, people are so much uh, uh I don't know, ready to talk about theirs. Look at Gucci. I mean, he's talked about stuff, and I don't know what it's done for him, but he's like, he talks. Look at Josh. It brought him to be, it made him comfortable enough to talk about it.
Yeah.
Look at Jamie. We got Jamie, by the way, my sister coming on. She's another one of the big ones
Yes.
that we've
Yeah.
been
So
talking about.
we'll actually
One of
mention
my
that in the.
sisters. What I mean, big ones, not size. I mean, big. I mean, big as in the experiences she had that we speak about. She's one of my sisters who has stories, and these are real. But
Yeah, the total real
go on.
stories. Yeah, no, and when she comes on, there's a particular one that I want to really talk about, because I remember going to her house one time, and it just this is when she was living in Nevada. I remember going to her house, and man, there was a weird feeling in there, and it was only this one particular time. It was such a weird feeling in there, and I've never felt it before, and I've never felt it since.
Well, here's the thing: you can't really put a specific time with her and Joe,
Your other sister.
my other sister. I mean, it's just something that, like I said, it wasn't something that was spoke about like what we're doing now. It's just something that happens, and there was no understanding of what it is, and what it is now for people who do what we do, and the investigators and the scientists and the non-believers and the skeptics. They brought it all up to where it helps us identify, oh, we're not fucking crazy.
No, we're
We're
not.
not
That's the other
crazy.
thing. We're not crazy. We're not talking shit. We're not,
No.
even though we like talking shit, we like drinking our beers. We like talking to all the boners out there and bullshitting.
Yeah.
But the stories that we tell personally,
No.
that's real. This is shit that we've
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
experienced. But then
Very much
again,
so.
again, thank you everybody for watching this episode. Thank you everybody for listening to the episode. As mentioned in the intro, please do not forget to go to Apple Podcasts, leave a 5-star review. Please also don't forget to go to our link in our Instagram page that goes to our flow page, and there you could follow everything that we do from Instagram, YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe, and you can even buy us a beer there. And this beer was actually purchased by one of your sisters, as mentioned earlier in the intro. So, and
Well, where's mine, fucker?
I'll get to it.
Oh, okay.
So thank you
I didn't buy
everybody.
you anything.
Oh, then what the hell? I
Hey,
only
she
got.
bought it for us. That's a us thing. I bought me for a me thing.
Thank you everybody for listening, for watching. We love you guys. This was actually done during our break, and hope to hear good news from everybody, and hope everybody enjoyed this episode.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
All right, talk to you later, everybody. Please be
Peace.
safe. Peace.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate.